Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which, can be Scottish, could be Welsh, could be English, could be Irish, could be from Northampton, could be from Wales, could be, London, all around it. But at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet, like Swedish people.
Oh, Swedish people are sweet like fish.
Swedish, yes, that's what I call them. Swedish fish. They're very sweet, you know?
Lovely, lovely. All
Mm-hmm.
right, you guys. So today we're talking 90 Day Fiancé UK Series 3, Episode 7. I never know the titles of these, but I'm sure they're fantastic. We get introduced to a oldie but goodie couple, which is so crazy, and it's even crazier because I watched the episode on I fast forward through it, and so the way that the chicken man was chickening was like crazy. Is that in this episode or was that in last
No.
episode? Oh, boo. Okay,
This is episode 7. That happens in episode 8, but this, I love you.
Wait, hold on. Hey, Christina, my brain is exploding right now. Can you delete that for me, please? Please, thank you. We're gonna take that back, and I'll just say episode 7 and try to think of something else interesting. It's just because that's the last episode I watched, so just trying to have a button. Thank you, Christina. Okay. Oh, great. I have a good button. All right. So today we're talking 90 Day Fiance UK Series 3, Episode 7. I don't know the title, but is there a place in the US that would allow me to go and play board games and drink milkshakes? I mean, spiked milkshakes is what I would need. But
Yes.
that was fabulous.
Board game nights happen, honey. Trivia nights, board game nights. And then the best part is they're playing Monopoly, but it's not the Monopoly we know with all the old-timey Park Place and everything. It's like Englishopoly with their own streets. You know what I'm saying? They're all their own things, so
It's like
that part,
Mayfair,
yeah, Mayfair.
Essex.
Yes, absolutely. It's not what we know. Boardwalk isn't there, honey. No boardwalk. No, I had Newportopoly.
Oh.
And I also had Disneylandopoly.
Oh, I have several monopolies. Several. You can't hear me anymore?
Something is either weird on my end or your end, but do you hear that?
No, I don't hear anything.
I think it's your microphone.
Oh no. It's my travel microphone.
Okay, it's gone now. Anyway,
Okay,
yeah, sorry.
No, I'm just saying, Christina, can you cut that out too? Thanks.
Yeah. You look great, by the way.
Thanks.
I loved Monopoly. I had 3 different Monopolies. I just played Monopoly about like maybe a week ago, and I realized that I shouldn't play Monopoly with people anymore because I was greedy and capitalistic. And I have my tried and true method, which is just buy everything you land on. And I was playing with these girls, and they were kind of like, with enough girls where like they started to get mad at me because I did buy everything, and none of them could get a Monopoly because I had just bought so many different properties. And I started to get like a little like hungry hippo about it, like, but that's also how you win. And so it was interesting because I realized it was such a bad look for me. I got really competitive.
Did you yourself have monopolies, or you just had random, like
Oh, I'm an only child. Well, I had everything.
Okay, but why didn't they do the same thing? If you see somebody is playing a very specific type of Monopoly, you have to then play the same type of Monopoly. And I'll tell you one story from me that my brother will always tell me is that I used to get mad when they would buy the things that I know that I like to buy. Like I like the red.
See?
I like the
You'd
red.
Hate me.
And I don't like Boardwalk and Park Place, but I like the color right before it. Is it green? I like whatever that is on the same avenue, just not as close to go.
Yellow?
Is it yellow? I don't know, but that's what I love. So let me tell you, I have several types of Monopoly, and in fact, they're at my parents' house right now, being unused. And so at some point, I'm gonna take some of them with me home in my suitcase, and I will get everything together, and I'll post a picture on Patreon, so that you guys can see the amount of Monopolies. In fact, the game closet. We have a board game closet. I have so many board games. Anywho, so and when I say I have them, I mean I don't physically have them. They're at my parents' house because my parents' house is a storage unit. It's a reservoir for all the things that I don't need to carry around with me in the world.
You know what? Your microphone is, I can't hear you. You're like, it's so staticky.
Oh no.
I know it. Can you just unplug it and plug it in? It feels like, or some, I don't know what it is, but.
Oh no.
Okay, now it's working. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It just happened again. I don't know exactly what it is, but okay. I really wanted to ask you this though, which is what kind of monopolies do you have?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I gotta go back and look at them. I know
God,
one
really
is like UPS for some reason. And then another one is like
UPS, like the mail carrier? Mail
Yeah.
carrier-opoly?
Yeah.
The guys in brown?
Mm-hmm. 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 Where's your Monopoly? Where's your Disneyland one?
Disneylandopoly, I think, is at, I thought it was at my apartment, but maybe, God, maybe it's somewhere else. It could be I mean, like, is it here in my dad's house? Is it in Temecula? I'm not quite sure.
Let me unplug this mic and let me use my phone as a mic. Let me see if that works better. Go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, I'm just going to start with this episode, because we also like have to talk about this show, which is actually great. And I'm excited about doing it. So why we spent 9 years talking about this is because Jamie and Kathleen, he obviously came back from Cyprus and she is pissed at him, because for one moment they broke up and then he decided to get with her friend. Bad move. And then when they got back together, he's just like not romantic because he's, he seems to be on the spectrum and his mom has certainly babied him his whole fucking life. And so he seems remedial in his like emotional immaturity a little bit. Is that how I would describe it? But, that's maybe judgmental and you tell me. Here they are, though. He goes with his two friends to, as we said, a bar area where he is going to not only play Englishopoly, but drink milkshakes. And they're the kind of milkshakes where someone has also squirted chocolate down the side. So it's very fancy. They know what they're doing. It's a whole thing. I didn't see like the silver canister on the side, the stainless steel extra cup. But we also get another piece of information, which is that he has gone again with his friends, Richard and Charlotte and Jamie used to date. They knew each other at school.
Oh,
and
I have a question. Is Charlotte and Charlotte the same person?
Say it again?
You said Charlotte, and then you were like, he has a friend named Charlotte, and then Charlotte feels, and so I'm like, are they the same person?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Is your mic working now? God bless you. I'm just kidding.
Is it? You can hear me, obviously.
Yeah, I totally can.
Okay, great. And it's also it didn't pick up my phone, so this is like raw MacBook sound. So listen, these episodes can be a little wonky. Okay, anyways. So yeah, he did date that girl, and they showed a picture of them when they dated, and the girl is like rips him down. She's like, first of all, when they dated, they looked totally different and like reasonable people, and then fast forward to today, they're just like inept nerds, right? And then he's the most inept of the nerddom. And I also wanted to know, is the guy who was with them, is that the same guy who was like, you're being dumb for marrying her? If you marry her, you're dumb, you're stupid. I wonder if that's the same person, because he seems a lot less antagonistic in this. Maybe it's because he's playing a game and doing something he really likes. But Charlotte is like, you're not romantic at all. Like if romance were to jump up and squeeze your bum and bite you, you still wouldn't understand that it's romance. And it's like, I don't necessarily know that Jamie can't be romantic. I mean, I know he can't. We all know that. But I think what it is that he is a very specific type of nerd. Like, he's just so inept and has been coddled by his mother. I mean, his mother says she looks crazy, but she also said something crazy later on. Like when he's like, yeah, I need to be more romantic. She's like, you are romantic. And I'm like, bitch, first of all, that's weird that you think that you know that. Yeah. How would you know? What? Because you got a heart of gold. So having a heart of gold does not mean that you're romantic. But anyways.
Wait, can I ask a question? Your connotation of romantic, what does that mean to you?
Connotation. You mean understanding?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So,
denotation of a word is the dictionary definition. Your connotation is how you understand it.
oh, okay. So romance to me is, I think it's what that therapist said. It's doing things that you know your partner would like. To me, it's not necessarily like walks on the beach. It's not um flowers on the bed. Like those things to me aren't romantic. It is knowing that I really just want to be in on an island and you booking a trip to an island and doing it all for me. Like knowing that karaoke is my shit and being like, we're gonna go have dinner and eat our fill and drink our wine, and then we're gonna go do karaoke afterwards because I know you fucking love that. You know what I mean? That is what it is. It's just those acts of service that provide what your partner actually wants.
I agree. It's like you said acts of service. It's definitely the understanding. It's to be aware and fully see your partner, to understand their love language, how they perceive your affection and love. And so acts of service, gifts, like touch, whatever it could be, sharing time that makes your person feel special, wanted, desired, loved, safe, seen, like it's the understanding of who that person is and what would make that person truly feel special. And
Yeah.
then doing
Special, seen,
something,
and loved. Yeah, that's great.
yeah, doing something that is special to them and they know that you picked it because they know you.
Yep.
There's something very very romantic in someone taking time to know you, like having seen how you work and then being able to like yes and it in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's a weird, I know not to be so improv-y about it, but it is like a yes and in some way that's really great. But yeah, so basically after that, yes, I go to a dating coach, right? But he goes to a dating coach because he really has to like work on things. And then it also made me feel like maybe I should go to a dating coach too. Because she gives him, I think, really good advice. Now he is going to lean hardcore into like again the 90s versions of romance, like red
Mm-hmm.
roses, like all
Mm-hmm.
of that, like, to stuffed teddy bears and kind of basic looking flowers, but here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Individual people who all want completely different things is what the dating coach says. That is what who people are. You can't just like copy paste your idea of romance, but you have to know who you're trying to romance. Kathleen is like, wow, because
Mm-hmm.
she loves karaoke.
And
Now,
cats,
one who
apparently. Cats and karaoke is what Chris was about to say just now. She loves
a little
cats.
cat, but she also loves Despicable Me, which you don't love.
Which is like such a crazy, yeah. I just like, what? You love despicable? Like, I keep trying to watch The Incredibles, and there are like certain scenes that I've seen on social media that I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then watching the whole movie, I'm just like, can I just fast forward to the scene that's funny? Like I can't do it. I tried to watch Inside Out again. I watched it the first time
Oh,
and I tried to rewatch it because everybody's like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, part 2 is so sweet." And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Can we fast forward through this? Like let me just get to the nuts and bolts of what this is about." It just, how does a kids movie give me anxiety? It's like if Sad doesn't sit her ass down and stop touching all of these core memories, I just want to jump through the screen and fight her. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, Kathleen's like a 42-year-old woman obsessed with Despicable Me. Now,
37.
Kathleen is a
30.
51-year-old woman
Yeah,
obsessed
yeah,
with
yeah.
Despicable
Yeah.
Me. Now,
Yeah.
I guess it's like I teach their own because I definitely have like old school Disney shit around me, but Despicable Me is just like, what did it for you there? Like, but I haven't seen it. So, I mean, you tell me if it's really great. But, so,
I just watched Beauty and the Beast the other day and like, yeah, it was great.
oh yeah, no,
I
Beauty and the Beast is
fast
great.
forwarded to all the songs. Did I? Yes, I did. I don't care about the in-betweens, but like I will watch a Disney movie. I will put it on and watch it and then just be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Aladdin. Oh, come on now.
Well, yeah,
Right.
especially the sing-along version because there's something very exciting to me about those dancing balls, honey. It makes me feel like
Mm-hmm.
those boppity bops, so, makes me feel very 80s. So, basically, he decides that the thing to do to really win her heart is to write a well, she writes love letters to him, and he has to now write a poem, and he has like a visceral memory of writing a poem when he was in school. It didn't turn out well then because he didn't rhyme, and his like teacher was like, "You're dumb," which I think is rude.
Yeah. Yeah. I part of me was like, no, what actually happened? Because like, but also what was it about? It was like, dear Fortnite, I love you so much. You're my favorite video game. When I play you, I feel
Oh, I recorded
tinglies
it.
in my toes. Like,
Oh, I
no, I'm
recorded the
saying
entire poem. Oh,
no, but
I
the
see,
poem
when he
that
was young.
when he was young, like not Fortnite, he's obviously too young, but what was the game?
Yeah.
Dear PlayStation 2, you are my best friend and my mom. So, like, what was the poem that he did in front of everything to where the teacher had to just be like, I'm sorry, you need to go to the principal's office. You got to get out of here. That was
Get the hell out of
so
here.
dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. Honey, I'm gonna Henry David Thoreau you away because, I mean, that's not it, you know? Thank you. Okay, this is his thank you. This is his piece. They give him this music. I love UK for this.
To my darling Kathleen, I feel like I'm in a library. I want to know all about you. Your caring personality is like a warm summer's day. You are my sugar in a coffee. You're sweet and scrumptious.
Scrumptious?
You're like a menu.
Scrumptious.
I want to know all about you.
He says, I want to know all about you twice. Okay, so this is I want this. He goes, you are like a library. I want to know all about you. Says some
Yeah.
bullshit about coffee, says some bullshit about a hot summer's day, and then goes like, and you're a menu. I want to know all about you. He wrote down, I want to know all about you in a poem twice, and it doesn't rhyme. And
Yeah.
it does. I mean, like, and he made like he keeps setting up metaphors and then not delivering on them. He's like a guy
Yeah.
that keeps setting up jokes and then not giving you a punchline. Like, if it could have just been the menu, he could write a whole thing about the menu. You are like
Mm-hmm.
gravy. I like to pour you all over. But anyway, it's like
Or
I do have the
you.
rest of the poem.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
only, by the way,
yeah.
halfway done.
That's fine.
So please let me inside you. Please let me inside, as I want to be your fire extinguisher and hose down all your problems and protect you. So please let me off the hook, as I want to study you like a book. Lastly, I miss you so much, like a coffee missing its coffee beans.
Like a fire extinguisher. I want to like. First of all, he's like, I want to protect you and like what, and I want to like be there for you and cover you like a hose. And so in my thought, I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, you can't protect anyone. You can't protect yourself. Your mother protects you. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have any discernible skills in which to take care. You need a woman who's on the same intellectual page as you. And Kathleen is like, Kathleen needs a man, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jamie's not. Jamie is like, yeah, I want to know how he would be like if he lived on his own, like because we can't really see him in his own settings. Like it's just like I think he's just really horny and doesn't know how to like maneuver that without getting in a relationship with somebody from another country who's mildly desperate and who wants to be sent money and or move to the UK.
I mean, you're absolutely right. You know, like he gives this poem to her. He's wearing like an orange beanie, like he's in one of those like films, you know, like with Bill Murray
Mhm.
films, you know, like looks very whatever that movie is, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm. Mhm.
Orange beanie and orange sweatshirt under the blue puffy vest. Uh he actually, I'll tell you right now, he does look hot in this scene. And it's
He's at the Scrub in Larch or some like British name of a coffee house. It's like the Shrub and Larch or the like the tea and vine or you know the pig and hoof. You know what I mean? Like just like such
the
a it's
pig in hoof.
you know how they used to like name old bars back in the day? It's like the
Yeah.
Lion
Like
Cub. It's like, yeah, it's just like the crazy. That's what he's at. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like Starch and Larch or like Scrub and it's like
scrub
the
and dub.
name.
I
Yeah.
wish there was scrub and dub. Do you remember in LA or Hollywood, you ever go to Cat and Fiddle?
No, but that's exactly what like
Yeah.
the outside of it would be a cat holding a fiddle playing, and that's
Yes.
how you know the name
A
of it.
cute
And it's
ass
like,
sign, you know, it's a
yeah.
great, yeah, charming sign. Let's move on to Nui and Tony. Okay, so we're on the way to Scotland. Tony is bringing Nui to visit his sister, the same sister that is not into the fact that he gives her money. And
Mhm.
you know,
Her
uh,
eyebrows are tattooed, which I didn't notice the first time, and I couldn't get away from them this time.
yeah, they are too dark, and They are very Archie, and they're not ombre. I'll tell you right that they are no one ombre them. So they basically sit down immediately, and the sister starts asking her questions like, I don't understand why you'd be interested in, or she asks why Nui is interested in her brother. And then it's like, well, my brother is handsome and he makes a lot of money. And it's like, well, then you answer your fucking those are your two answers.
Yeah. It's just really weird to me when like women don't want people, when anyone doesn't want a woman to want a man because he's successful and handsome. I'm sorry, what? That is really just what I mean. Listen, I know we're in the future now, and so we don't want certain things, and we need to let men be men. But I'm going to tell you, being handsome and wealthy, or having money, and then also being like ex-military, like that's a dangerous combination. That is a perfect dangerous like combination that many a woman would want. And so for anyone to then be like, is that all you want him for? It's like, is that not enough? Is that not okay? I'm sorry. Then why did he do all of this if that's not, I'm sorry, then you want your brother to be Jamie. Is that what you want? In order for him to find true love, I guess, or what the fuck ever. So, I mean, she comes in real hot at Nui for no reason. And Nui has given her no reason to think that. And then she's like, but what about your ex? Are you going to go back with your ex, huh? You can get back, get married, and she's like, no, that is my ex-husband. Like, first of all, where is your husband? And is he your ex? And are you planning on getting back with him? Like, I was on Nui's side this whole time, and Nui's so nervous. And the sister just is like, first of all, sister, let me tell you one thing. The fact that Nui is here on a tourist visa speaks volumes. Many people can't get to your country on a tourist visa. So for you to like assume that she's so desolate, that she's so whatever, like obviously she was able to get there. The same thing with, and I don't know if it's easier just from Thailand to the UK, but for a lot of countries, some people have to prove that they have a reason to go back home before they can get the visa to come to this Western country. And so Nui obviously has the money, the resources, and things like that. Like Violet could come to the US, but not every Vietnamese person could just come to the US. Like you have to show them that you're gonna go home. Like, and so for her to say that is just so woefully ignorant of the fact that that Nui can even come here and see London first. And then when she starts talking, Nui's like, hey, well, I guess he can think about coming to Thailand. If that's what you think. If you think I'm trying to use him for the visa, guess what, boo-boo? He can come to Thailand because we live a good life over there. And the sister's like, oh, well, she made a look on her face. And I was just like, yeah, bitch, what about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So then after like, for some reason, Nui is the one being a guest in this woman's home. And suddenly it's on Nui to go by herself in Scotland while Tony and his dumb sister with the too many eyebrows stay at home, chill while she goes and buys a bunch of fucking food and then comes back and makes you bitches penne curry in your own home, and you have shitty cookware? Fuck you.
Yeah. Listen, I understand not having a wok because I just bought my first wok and I have not used it.
Fine.
But that's fine, right? You know, have we always had a wok in our house? Yes. Have we ever used it? No. But I think my parents got it for like a wedding gift. Okay, anyways. But like what I'm saying is that did someone did someone secretly go with her? Did one of the kids secretly go with her? And so then like that's why did they set that up? To show that she's independent? Because all it shows is that they're bad hosts. That's the way I feel.
Yeah, horrible. I mean, you know, like fake. I mean, yeah, this is like, if this was American, I'd be like, oh, this was America. I'd be like, oh my God, these fucking Americans are making it seem like there are no hospitable hosts in America. Like, I cannot believe having a woman come from a foreign country, just land in my country, be like, yeah, find yourself a mart, buy shit to cook me in my own home stuff.
Yeah, without me helping
you make it tasty.
At all.
By the way, hope you make it tasty.
Spicy.
Yeah, because I'm judging you.
Yeah, it was just a lot of like shit. And then they were like, taste it.
I'm judging you.
We're watching her just like stare at this food, chew it, and just be like, oh my God, it's too many flavors for my Scottish tongue. And is she Scottish? Who knows? Maybe her husband is. That isn't there. I've got too many flavors in my mouth. I'm gonna tell you this, Chris. I had baked beans. I went to a traditional fish and chip spot in Minneapolis, and while I was there, I saw a can of Heinz baked beans in the tomato sauce, and I was like, oh my god, it's time for me to try it, because this is what Sophie was saying. This is what those two old people on TikTok were saying, and I got that shit. It tastes like regular beans, like regular just cooked beans, not a season to be had. And I grew up eating rice and beans. Like I grew up eating beans where I had to like get the beans out the bag, separate it from the rocks and the dirt, let it soak, and then put some onions and garlic in it and like let it cook for 5 hours. Like that is the kind of beans I grew up on. And I have never tasted such non-flavored, bland beans. And I saw that tomato sauce. The tomato sauce had no flavoring in it at all. It is the most regular can of beans. It's like lentils with no seasoning in it.
Is it a little wet though? They're like, obviously it's a little like soupy wet.
Yeah.
And yes, it's sauce.
Yeah.
And is it supposed to, okay, because like my mind, I'm like, is it the kind of baked beans that have like are supposed to be a sweetness to them, like molasses or
no? Ask me one more question and I'm gonna say no to you, because it's non-flavors, no flavor. Think of lentils with lentils. not even an onion in it.
Wow.
Chris, that's what it is. And for Sophie and her mother to fucking say that, no British person better talk about no food ever in my life. That is shameful. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no. British people are, again, I think we've talked about this, but but when we first brought it up, I don't know if you knew it or not. So now I just want to say it again. And you can come for me if you are British people, but you should know, British people, the entire world thinks your food is bad. No one on God's green earth is like, British food rocks. Everyone knows it's bad, okay? And I'm saying that as American, but I'm not, but like, I mean, French people know, the biggest thing between like France and England is the fact that French is like, your fucking food sucks and we do it well. I'm not saying that French food is the best in the whole world, but it's much better than fucking American. I'm sorry, fucking British food. And American food,
while
is
it's
like
fat,
a hot,
while it's fattening, it is good.
It's like, yeah, I mean, burgers are great. Like, I think burgers are yummy. Like, a good burger is like where it's at with the fucking meat and grilled onions, and if you do it well. Like, I don't like a lot of other things, but I do also, I realized I've enjoyed, and I haven't had it in a long time, is like pan pizza, which is definitely not Italian.
Yeah. Minnesota hot dish, which is like just any kind of casserole, is better. And that has salt in it as a seasoning, and it has a lot of condensed cream of mushroom, cream of celery in it. Like, so I'm coming from a place where the food is already in American standard not that flavorful. It's creative, but not that flavorful. It's very, post World War II, like strife, these hot dishes, and that is better than the fish and chips with the baked beans.
She makes them, and they didn't deserve it, is the red curry, the Penang curry from, I love Penang curry. I'm saying it wrong, but I do love it. I mean, I love Thai food in itself, like Thai, like, summer rolls. Oh my God, like all the fresh vegetables in a rice wrap, and there's like a little peanut sauce on the side, or like the chicken saute. Oh my God. So basically she's like, oh, this food's good. Maybe Nui is fine or whatever, but we're like, are you fine? And that's now the question.
And you're not.
Yeah, the answer is no. So
Ollie and Sam.
Yeah, Allie and Sam, honey. She's just, it's windy, it's cold. They're walking around Marmarius. How do you ever say it? And Sam goes, do I look like I enjoy hiking? I don't do exercise. I do extra fries. Which, I mean, listen, right now, it's a quick witty aside joke. And you know what? When you said it, I was like, good for you.
Yeah, I was also thinking good for you too, but also, are you crying on the inside after saying that? Like, are you somebody who just like is leaning into the, like, just like, I want to call myself fat before anyone else does? Like girl, like what it was, okay.
She has to. I mean, like, she is, body situations are really intense, but to say something like that, I don't do exercise, I do extra fries. It's one thing to do it like as an aside, and it's one thing to do in a confessional. I truly believe that she doesn't do exercise. I truly probably believe that when she said it, I'm like, oh, you hate the idea of it. You found nothing that you enjoy to move at all.
Yeah.
And like every part of moving your body is so uncomfortable or gross to you that like you've written the entire thing off. And I I feel for that kind, because if you are a bigger person, it's uncomfortable to move. And so if it's uncomfortable to move, then, and you haven't found something that you like doing, then it's just like a horrible cycle. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Of just kind of maybe like getting bigger and not being able to move as much.
Yeah. And the insecurities that she has just in general. It just felt like okay, so we're resigned. And it wasn't even in a fun, jovial way. It's like it was just
I
weird.
know.
And so he's like, they're talking again about him getting to the UK to go to work. And she's like, well, I'm sorry, there's no job market where I live. So you most likely won't have any money. And I'm just like, girl, then why are you moving him there? Because you're gonna be, she's like, I need you to pay back my £5,000, and shit. And so it's just like it's just really weird. It's like she wants him to say, I'm coming there for you because I love you. And he doesn't, because he's like, well, I love you, but I'm also coming there for all the opportunity it's going to afford me. Like, why should I not be honest with you about this? And I'm like, yeah, girl, don't you want him to be honest so you could at least have
No.
it with your eyes open? And she's like, absolutely not. I don't want that
No.
at all.
No.
So they meet up with his friends, and they're talking about, like, it's a weird awkward conversation, because they're like, can you find me a wife, because I want to go too, and we're gonna really miss him. And when she realizes that he is a whole autonomous person with friends and a life, she starts to cry, because this whole time she's been really shitty to him. And she's been really crabby and cranky and upset. And for the first time, she's at this point understanding that he is actually sacrificing some things too. So even if he is coming from this place of like wanting to go to the UK in order to make money, there is still things that he's giving up as well. So the friend Ishmael cries, and then they have a good night after that, and she tells the friend that her mom is available. And that's a real funny moment about maturity and, like, antiques or whatever. And then we move on to her packing, and either she brought a bunch of hangers, because maybe like Lisa or whoever it is that came to Nigeria and brought their own hangers, because there's no hangers in Nigeria. Like, maybe it's the same thing. Like, she's like, oh my God, there's no hangers in Turkey. So I needed to not only bring hangers with me. Who did that? Oh no, it was Kimberly. Kimberly packed a bunch of hangers to go and meet Usman, because she said there's no hangers there. So is it the same thing? Because I'm like, girl, why do you have all those hangers?
You know what? I don't know. It's interesting, because it's like you can only bring hangers to me if you have a garment bag where the hangers you kind of have everything hanged up on the thing, and the little hangers are like grouped together in some sort of lock. But anyways, she had different ones. She had like 2 normal hangers and 1 dry cleaning hanger. So none of that made sense. Then they have to say goodbye to each other, and she cries, and he kind of is like, don't cry, but she does kind of cry, and we've seen him kind of cry. He definitely feels more lovey-dovey to her than you would expect. More lovey-dovey to her than someone who is just wanting a green card would be. So I thought that was interesting. He also was just like talking about getting a job. He was like, I'm from Turkey. I can do everything. You guys are lazy. I'll find a job. I do it all. And I'm like, you're 20 nothing. What do you mean you do it all? Like,
yeah, but I want to see you do it all. That's what I want to see.
Are you a hacker? Can you code? I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, unless you're like well versed in computers and AI and coding and everything, then do not have such a strong idea that you're going to get a job. I'm like, I'm sorry,
Well,
the world's changing.
Wherever it is that he's gonna work, like, he's not going in with like he's not going in with like white collar. He's doing into service. So he's either gonna like bus, wait, bartend, like he's valet, like he's going to be doing stuff. And I think that's what he's saying. Because in my mind, I'm like, did you not hear her say that there's no job industry like where she lives? Like, she's like, you're not going to get a job. There's much opportunity.
She likes him, but she's always so angry. She's a very negative person for some reason.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to take, but God bless.
Yeah.
Final cups, badups, John and Sprite. I'll tell you right now, this whole episode for them was so weird, and it felt like contrived in some way, because we've been knowing John to be sweet, lovely, bending over backwards for Sprite to be, and Sprite is the fun bitch. But in this episode, John became completely illogical and weird and kind of like old school, like, I don't know, like weird, fucked up, where it was all about him. And let's talk about it. So basically, it's the morning, and suddenly Sprite is just like waking up John, and John doesn't want to have to wake up, which I get that. He's very crabby in the morning. But he's been knowing that Sprite has a friend who's a nail artist who called him up and was like, hey, I'm doing this photo shoot and you're, here. So come and be the photographer. And so Sprite has to like get a ride over to the train station to go into London to shoot all day. And it's the only thing he's done, for his career in the 3 weeks that he's been in London. And we've seen John, again, go on different work interviews where he failed and all that stuff. Like, John's been going to work. In fact, John's like, I'm really pissed you woke me up. And it's like, at one point, Sprite's like, well, do you want me to take a taxi then? If it's so intense for you to drive me? And he's like, no, I'm already up now. And it's like, well, then fucking pick a lane, bitch, whatever.
Mhm.
And then John's like, well, I need you back at 6 p.m. to make me dinner. And it's like, make your dinner? 6 p.m. What is this, like a housewife of the 1950s? Bitch told you that he has plans. Sorry, I forgot I was talking about the housewife. He has plans in London for a 1-day shoot. What do you mean he has to be home by? It's not going to be done by 6 p.m. There is no hard out when you are the photographer for such a thing. You're the dumbest. And also, like, if you've been cooking all day long and you work at a restaurant, I want to be like, you can just get something. What are you talking about? There's a family meal. Fucking, you get half off. Bring something home.
Yeah, I also don't understand the thing of like, we're just visiting each other and we only have 3 weeks. And so I want to spend all of my time with you outside of that. I don't understand that. Like, I intrinsically don't understand that, like, frame of thought.
Every moment of time.
Yeah, because I'm like, you're gonna be gone doing the things that you have to do. So why can't there be moments where I go off and do stuff that I have to do, like relax and not hear you? Like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand that. And so he's mad at him because he had an opportunity to do something in a city that he may want to live in, and practice his craft. And because that practicing of that on that one day got in the way of him spending an extra 3 hours with him is the thing that's ruining everything. And he's like, well, I guess I'll just have a ham sandwich. And he makes, for a chef, he makes the
celebrity
most
chef
basic. I'm like, oh, let's see what this ham sandwich is gonna look like. I feel like, is there a little bit of sprouts on it? Do we have some Dijon mustard? Like, what are your veggies? Are you gonna cut up a nice ripe heirloom tomato? Like, what are we putting on this sandwich? I was like looking forward to it. I was like, is there a gherkin on it? And this boy, I mean, he just goes and gets 2 pieces of maybe a baguette, some regular ass ham and some regular ass mustard, regular ass cheese, and just puts it on there and slaps it together and eats it. And I'm like, well, I mean, the fact that you don't have more options for yourself is your fault. This is your country.
Absolutely. And also, like, get a lettuce on that. I'm not quite sure why you're doing this, but it's weird. So then, by the way, love seeing Sprite in front of that camera, honey, just like, directing that photo shoot. He's just like,
he's behind the camera.
Romance. Did I say in front of the camera? I meant behind. You're right. Yes, body curve. Now, if you're listening to this podcast, definitely you should know that Juan and I had a photo shoot, and we know what it's like to model. And so we really felt this scene. And
it's very hard, horrible work, but we had to do it.
I know. It's really, really hard when you're so beautiful. Anyway, so basically the next morning, John's pissed, okay? John now is making himself some blonde toast with butter. Loves him a carb. Honey loves him a white bread carb. And next door to him, honey, is a whole box of what? Nature's Valley granola bars. I saw them, I clocked them, and there you are. It's the same Nature Valley granola bars that Sophie ate too many of, and it made Rob so upset.
Yeah.
But basically, he is just like making himself some toast, and he's like, pissed at Sprite because Sprite like didn't come home late or came home late last night, didn't make him dinner. But this part was actually kind of interesting. And this is the one thing I'll give John. John was like, I literally fucking texted you and you never texted back and you were just on Instagram posting all day. I hate that.
No, that's not what happened. Now, I agree with, listen, I understand why it happened. Why Sprite did that, because he didn't want to deal with John's bullshit.
Sure.
But it was definitely like totally rude. But part of me is like, well, if I were Sprite, you're annoying, and I wouldn't want the drama of talking to you. Like, it's
And
too
the
much.
trauma. And the
Yeah,
trauma.
it's too much. Like, I'm really big on protecting my peace, and so I found myself doing it a lot more. And if that's what Sprite needed to do, then that's what Sprite needed to do. But what that means is that they are absolutely wrong for each other, and I can't wait to watch the demise of this relationship. So they get into a fight, and they're yelling back and forth with each other. And Sprite makes up some very good points. Like, what are you talking about? I had to do this for my career. You knew what I was doing. Like, I didn't come here to be your little house bitch. I don't know why you think I should have dinner on the table. Like, I don't understand like what it is. And so,
who was that boy? I saw a boy there. Was that Andrada's brother?
No, Andrada's brother was not there.
Or with someone, I can smell it.
You mean her husband? You fucking twat.
Is he gay? Because her gay husband was there? Fuck you, Sprite. You know, you're just like, oh my God, it's too much.
Shut up. So he runs upstairs. I mean, the way he runs up them stairs though was hilarious. And then he jumps in the bed, and he's sprightly. Yeah. So he jumps on the bed, and he immediately starts texting his friends, talking shit about John. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does. Little house bitch. I didn't come here to be a house bitch.
Yeah. I also want to be like, Sprite, do you have a laptop with your images? Are you color correcting the images? Are we seeing them? I don't know. I want to see you work a little bit. But I don't know. This part was weird, but you know, we'll see what happens. Their time is almost ending. And in fact, everyone's time is almost ending. If we talk about the scheme of things, life is so short. But at the end of the day, so is this episode, because we are done, honeys, and we're moving on. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more, you absolutely can get it. We are on social medias. Please follow us at DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties1 on X. We have a Facebook group, the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. We're on YouTube. Please go subscribe, like, share, comment, all the things, as well as give us a 5-star review. We really could need them. We really need them. So do it. Thanks. But also give us money.
Yeah, and if there's a way that you want to give us money, you can do so on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. You get a live every first Monday of the month, which is this Monday coming up, as well as other amazing content, such as, you know, our faces. So if you're all interested in that, please join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties. Otherwise, you guys, we'll talk to you later. You have a good one. Bye.